Alrighty, welcome back to WrestleStop. Joe and Jeff are here to recap Monday Night Raw from Monday, September 8th. Like, subscribe, follow. Let us know below what you like about our videos. Let us know what you don't like about our videos. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This is Joe. This is Jeff. I just want to bring to your attention, we are going to start doing card break videos. You'll see those in the next week or two. For now, we're just going to do the card breaks and see what we get. Eventually, though, we do plan on selling letters and things like that, like the other channels do, and you could take home some of these cards from our fabulous channel.
Let your coworkers know. Let your direct reports know. Let your coworkers' direct reports know.
Yeah, those are ones we haven't touched on before. This week,
All right.
we're over Raw from this past Monday, the 8th.
September 8th, yes, sir.
September 8th. I don't have my notes in front of me for this one. Again, I was out of town. Jeff took the notes for it. So I'm just going to riff off of Jeff's notes. So
Alrighty.
Feel free, buddy.
All right. Well, the show started off with a recap of Seth Rollins and CM Punk going back to their feud leading into Clash in Paris, the match at Clash in Paris. Becky Lynch interfering, helping Seth Rollins win and retain the championship. Her then confronting CM Punk the last couple events leading to the SmackDown last Friday, where she got in the ring with him, kind of pushed him around, slapped him around a little bit. He got out of the ring, said, I'm not going to put my hand on a woman, but I've got somebody who will. Or was this Monday? No, this was, yeah. Oh, wait, that was last SmackDown. Yeah, and then AJ Lee came out. So recapped all that, and then the return of AJ Lee.
Yeah, basically it was we're not going to do a recap of SmackDown. Neither one of us had a good chance to sit down and take notes on it. But that's what led up to this match.
Yeah. So there was a recap of everything leading to the return of AJ Lee last Friday at SmackDown. So after that, Jay came out, to his yeet music, started yeeting with the crowd and everything. And as he got about halfway down the stairs, Jimmy came out. He came out of the entrance tunnel, joined him. They yeeted in the crowd, went to the ring together, and all that. So they danced around together, talked about their reuniting the Usos. The brothers are back together again, all that good stuff. And then as they started talking about the Vision came out and interrupted him. So Vision comes out. Jim is lost. What's he doing on Raw? He belongs on SmackDown. The Vision runs Raw. Why are they here without their permission? Bronson Reed is now wanting to be acknowledged as the tribal thief. He comes out, puts his hand up. I like Bronson Reed. I don't mind the tribal thief, but asking to be acknowledged, that's Roman's gimmick. Let it go. I get they're trying. They just want him to get booed.
He doesn't have his shoes anymore.
Yeah.
He lost the shoes.
So they made fun of the Vision. They called Paul Heyman. He's not the Oracle. He's the Orca. That kind of made me laugh a little bit. So then they announced the Bronze versus the Usos at WrestlePalooza, which I think is going to be a great tag match. I'm really looking forward to that one. The Usos are widely considered one of the greatest tag teams of all time. If the last 5-10 years, if not of all time, I think they work great together. I think they're much better together as a tag team than they are as individual wrestlers. I don't know that I see it lasting very long. I don't think it's a permanent one, but we'll see what goes from here. So LA Knight then came out and attacked the Vision from behind. They were fighting outside the ring. Both Usos dove through the ropes and attacked the Vision. LA Knight moves, and then so they got back in the ring. Then we're fighting a little bit, and then LA Knight and Jay were talking, and then Bronson went to splash him. LA Knight moved, ended up hitting Jay in the corner, which led to a feud later in the night. So.
I've always had a problem with angles like that, right? Because Jey Uso was mad because Bronson Reed splashed him, and he's blaming LA Knight for it and stuff. But right, can't he just watch the replay?
Yeah, but they've been building toward this with LA Knight getting mad like that. I thought that LA Knight getting mad about what happened at Clash in Paris was dumb. LA Knight should have expected Jay just to help him win instead of Jay taking the advantage. They had beat Seth up for a little bit. So Jay took advantage. It took LA Knight and Seth out to go for the pin himself. LA Knight had a problem with that. Keeps confronting Jay on it. So LA Knight's been pushing Jay back. So maybe he's just let his frustration out of that one moment. So
it's weird to me. It's like these guys don't watch replays. I don't know.
It is a gimmick they go to quite often.
Yeah, it's
to get faces to disagree with each other. Yeah,
they go to. Yeah.
So LA Knight, they jump backstage. LA Knight's backstage complaining he wants a match. He wants a match with any Bronson Reed, Brian Breaker, LeBron James, Bronny Jr., Charles Bronson, any Bron out there that wants to fight. So
I thought that was a good promo.
That was a pretty good promo.
Yeah.
Now there at the end, he did talking about stomping people. I thought he was going to mention stomping somebody in the mud hole, but he just said, "I'm going to stomp the piss out of him." So again, he looks like he borrowed a little bit from Stone Cold Steve Austin, or maybe I'm just looking for that.
I think you're looking for it now.
But when it happens,
I think his promos are very close.
Yes,
to the Stone Cold promos and the Rock promos of the past. But I think he's different enough.
He does appear to be trying. His promos had gotten very formulaic and stale, and I think he's trying to find new gimmicks and new things to say, which I'll give him credit for. He's opening up and trying new things. It's just funny every time he tries something new. It sounds like something that I've heard before.
Yeah.
So,
maybe, yeah.
But again, what hasn't been heard before? So
that's for sure.
So alrighty, well now I got excited because there was a match between AJ Styles and El Grande Americano.
Yeah, I know you like that one.
I was so hoping for an El Grande Americano victory. He's not ever. He's not quite up there with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, and all those classics yet. But
sure?
He's definitely one of my favorite of the current generation.
This version, though?
All versions of it.
All versions. Okay.
So I didn't take a whole lot of notes on the match itself. I thought it was actually pretty good. El Grande Americano is a great wrestler. AJ Styles held his own and carried, at least didn't make the match fall apart or anything like that. So it was great to see El Grande Americano carry AJ Styles through the match.
I don't think that's what happened.
At one point, Dos Americanos came down and tried to interfere outside the ring and grab his leg. I was hoping that, El Grande Americano would pick up the win. But eventually, AJ Styles hit the Styles Clash for a 3 count and for the victory. So
yeah, because AJ Styles is better than Ludwig Kaiser or Tyler Bate.
Or does that have anything to do with?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass. I don't know. But there is the big discussion right now online is the promo that AJ Styles hit during the commercial.
Yeah, I saw a little bit about that, and then Raw did not. Yeah, there's a debate whether that was Triple H was happy with that or not happy with it. WWE knew it was going to happen.
But then WWE promoted it, which was kind of weird, where he was calling out people don't want me here and stuff like that. I think it's a complete work. I do. I wouldn't have if WWE didn't promote it, right? Obviously, they want people to know about it. If people didn't want, if they didn't want people to know about it, then they wouldn't have promoted it.
Got a prediction?
Do you?
Yeah. So AJ Lee is going to turn on CM Punk because who's been helping AJ Styles lately?
Nobody.
Dragon Lee. So you've got AJ Styles.
AJ Lee.
Dragon Lee.
Okay.
So there's going to be a new faction with AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and AJ Lee.
That's
somewhere
the way
down the line.
WWE is going right now. That is 100%. You heard it here first. On WrestleStop
has it.
He's got it. AJ Lee and Dragon Lee are going to help AJ Styles because all their names make the same in their next whatever they do. Their
Somewhere
next faction.
Already.
I just didn't think. I don't know. I thought it was okay.
It was fun. It was a fun match. I don't know where they're going with it, but it was fun. They're hopefully building towards something with the Dos Tres Grande Americanos, however many there are.
I lost faith in Americano when Chad Gable left. I know.
I know.
Why
did you keep bringing up Chad Gable?
Because I think Chad Gable. I think he was talking in their ear a little bit, and I think he was giving them advice.
Oh, he was coaching.
I think Chad Gable was coaching El Americanos.
Well, whatever. Maybe he's still coaching from home because
he could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he was close to winning a couple times.
I'm glad to see AJ Styles win. I'm going to give it a B-.
So, all right. After that match, we cut backstage. EO and Sky and Adam Pearce are talking. The contract signing tonight was canceled. There's no Stephanie Vaquer. She couldn't make it, but Adam Pearce said the match is still scheduled. the Kabuki Warriors interrupt the conversation with Io, and then Nikki Bella chimed in for whatever reason. Kabuki Warriors interrupt that conversation, saying Io doesn't need friends, and then Asuka's just going around dominating everyone. She's got a new gimmick. Every time she walks off screen, she yells at Kyrie, Kyrie! And Kyrie's got to follow her. And Kyrie all of a sudden looks scared of her. It's just, I don't know what they're doing. It's goofy. It's weird. It makes me laugh. But going back to the Stephanie Vaquer not being on Raw, and they're still going to have the match, and I think it's still scheduled for, is it still going to be at
WrestlePalooza?
At WrestlePalooza,
Yeah.
but they're doing something with Stephanie Vaquer, Tiffany Stratton, and Rhea Ripley appeared on NXT, and the three of them are in a 6-person tag.
I haven't watched NXT in a minute.
I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it either.
There.
I just saw it online. It just seemed weird that Stephanie Vaquer is leading up to the biggest match of her life, and she's not on Raw, and they have her on NXT.
Maybe there was something with her visa.
Yeah,
maybe?
I
She
don't
wasn't
know.
allowed
I don't
there.
know where the
I
NXT
don't
show
know.
was. So, but yeah, I just
Yeah,
found
I
that all odd. It was an odd little segment. Odd for Stephanie not being there, and then to be on NXT the next night. So we'll see where that goes. So, all right. After that, there was a recap for AJ Lee, which I kind of enjoyed because I wasn't watching wrestling during AJ Lee's time. So I got to see what AJ Lee's all about. I didn't understand the hype leading in, other than the fact that she was CM Punk's wife. I knew she was an ex-wrestler. I knew she's been in other wrestling. But looking at her, like, she just seems like another one of those 4'9", 110-pound wrestlers from like the Diva era that just doesn't make sense in today's wrestling. I mean, there are some small girls, but I guess putting her up against Becky Lynch makes sense because they're both small. But I just seeing her against anybody but like Alexa Bliss. I said the name you told me not to say.
Yeah, don't say that because you're gonna set off my.
Like
Amazon.
that makes sense, but like seeing somebody of AJ's stature against somebody like Raquel or Rhea Ripley just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But we'll see what they do with her character. So
With
the
AJ
fans
Lee.
seem to love her.
Yeah, the fans definitely love AJ Lee. I thought, and I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she kind of said what I was thinking. Right, it was AJ Lee looked like she was trying to cater to, like, I don't mean to be rude here, but AJ Lee is not 20 years old, right? She's not 18 years old, but she's trying to talk like she is.
She seemed to have the same issue that you mentioned. Brooke has an issue with AJ Lee. Holly has the same issue with Charlotte Flair. Like, she's in her mid to late 30s, but she's still dressing in the clothes and acting like she's young, like Tiffany Stratton. And like the character they're putting on and the outfits they're wearing just don't seem to match where they're at in this part of their careers.
And to be fair, AJ Lee even mentioned that, right? She's like, she's going to wear shorts that are too small,
sizes too small, yeah.
Stuff like that, right? And that's fine and everything. But when she was skipping out to the ring and doing all these things, and the way she was just kind of like, oh, whatever, right? It just seemed like she was trying to act younger than she really is. And that's fine. She's clearly, from what I read earlier, she's the number one seller right now for merchandise, right? So clearly it's working, and good for her. But
maybe they'll change her character. They said that she hasn't been on wrestling, WWE TV in over 10 years. So maybe that you introduce her to her prior character, the skipping around and all that AJ Lee. Yeah, she slowly develops into a newer character.
Yeah, and I thought her comment about, like, if you're wondering why your millennial parents and everything are excited and stuff like that stuff, it was kind of like that breaking that fourth wall and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty good.
The comment that confused me was her saying that she's your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler.
Well, she was talking about CM Punk because she was saying
she was referring to CM Punk at that point. Because I've heard that about other people like the CM Punk.
At least I think. I think she was referring to CM Punk, and she was like telling everybody, hey, your favorite wrestler, which is CM Punk, I'm his favorite wrestler.
That makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
At least that's what I think she was talking about. And maybe that's what it is. But I don't know. I just thought her promo was good. I thought,
we're not to her promo yet. This was just this was like a video of her WWE advert. They started back at her wrestling career, going into how she came back with CM Punk.
Okay,
so
I'll hold my thoughts.
So So there was that. Again, it was, like I said, as somebody who didn't know who AJ Lee was other than CM Punk's wife, an ex-wrestler, I enjoyed the video just seeing where she came from, and all that, and her WWE history. So, all right, next up, the surprise match I hadn't heard much about, but Lyra Valkyria versus Raquel. Again, I thought it was a good match. Raquel is, as we've talked about, she's improved greatly. She's using her power more, not trying to do some of the acrobatic stuff, using her power more. And she definitely used her power in talking to small wrestlers. Lyra Valkyria. I can't talk.
Who?
Lyra Valkyrie? Valkyria. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't talk. I can't wrap my mind around that name. Okay. But yeah, I was actually surprised to see Raquel get a relatively clean win. A pinfall against the ex-Intercontinental Champion.
I mean, it was a relatively clean win, right? Because Roxanne Perez still interfered. And
she distracted her a little bit here and there, but it's not like she held her leg for the pin or she hit her with a chair when the ref wasn't looking. There was a little bit of a distraction, but, I mean... And it was more of a distraction like that Valkyria could have ignored her if she wanted to. Mm-hmm. And she jumped off the ring. She could have ignored her and did whatever. She didn't try and stop her from doing any moves or anything. It was just... I'm going to yell your name and get on the ring, and you're going to run over, and then you're going to get attacked from behind. Yeah. So, yeah.
I thought it was a good match, right? I think not Roxanne Perez, who's yelling?
Raquel
Rodriguez. And I mentioned this in a different video. She has improved greatly.
I agree.
Since she's come on, right? I used to just despise her coming onto the channel. But she's gotten much better. I think her match was much better. Maybe that's due to Lyra Valkyria, like them being on the same page. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I think like the finishing move where she grabbed her on the turnbuckle and pulled her into her finishing move. Yeah. I thought it looked fantastic.
It's her using the power she should have over most wrestlers. So yeah,
I thought it was a solid match. I'm going to give that a B+. B+.
I'll give it a thumbs
up. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was solid.
The outcome surprised me. It caught me off guard. I was either expecting some sort of a cheap victory for Raquel or to Lyra to play the hero and overcome the odds and get the win. So I thought the ending surprised me. So next we jump backstage. We've got Penta and Adam Pearce talking. Penta saying he wants he wants an Intercontinental match. He's been in wrestling, hasn't really got any title chances. He wants an Intercontinental match. Rusev interfered. He said, I want, you told me to beat Sheamus, beat a real wrestler. I beat Sheamus multiple times. I want an Intercontinental match. So Adam Pearce's way to solve this was to put Penta and Rusev in a match tonight. So I don't know if he announced it was for a number one contender match, but he did say that they were going to wrestle tonight. So
yes, they did.
Yeah. Thing here, it may have jumped to a commercial or whatever, but then ended up in another backstage match. We see AJ Styles talking to Dragon Lee, thanking him for helping him, with the Dos Americanos. And then Jim comes looking for Jay. Jay said, I'm leaving. I don't want to deal with these guys. But Jim saying, hey, we need to stay and help LA Knight versus Bronson Reed, Brian Breaker. Jay said, I don't care. That's not my fight anymore. I don't need to get involved in that. Roman told me to stay out of it, that type of stuff. So Jay's starting to sound a lot like Roman, repeating the lessons Roman's been trying to teach him. So
yeah, like I feel like we're about to see the Bloodline 3.0.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see if they include anybody else, if they, bring Jacob in as a new member to the Roman side.
Because where's Jacob been?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where he's been. So, jump to a new segment. Now we're going to jump into AJ's promo. AJ Lee comes to the ring wearing Becky's Intercontinental Championship belt.
She skipped to the ring. Don't forget.
Yeah, she skipped to the ring. 12. She introduces herself to the crowd. Says I wrote down here your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. She said she had to take the time away. She went through a mental health journey, and she wasn't intending to come back, but now she's back because Becky attacked CM Punk. Becky came out, they argued back and forth for a bit, and then they announced the couple versus couple match at WrestlePalooza, which is probably one of the worst kept secrets. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the match. I think it'd be good. I don't like the way they brought her back. We haven't really talked about it yet. I don't like the Becky Lynch getting in the ring and slapping CM Punk around. I don't like that playing up the domestic abuse angle. Yeah, okay. What's CM Punk supposed to do? I think there were
supposed to beat the hell out of her.
Yeah, I think there were ways that she could have, like CM Punk could have went at Seth Rollins, and they did that on one event where she stepped in front of him and she blocked him, and I think CM Punk started doing that something similar. But oh no, AJ. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But AJ did something similar to Seth, and you could have had that same where she's getting in CM Punk's way, not letting CM Punk go at Seth, without her just physically slapping him in the face over and over and over again. I just don't think that's a good storyline for kids to see kids slapping a woman around, or I'm sorry, a woman slapping a man around and a man not retaliating. You know, he probably shouldn't retaliate because he is a much bigger person, but I think he could have at least grabbed her by the hand and maybe not hit her, but restrained her.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, I just thought it was an ugly look the last couple weeks for that. Yes, she's a heel and she's supposed to do stuff like that. I did not like seeing that on the more family friendly wrestling that we've gone to these last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it in that perspective like you do, because you watch it with your kids and stuff like that. I watch wrestling by myself or with my girlfriend. So I don't really look at it that way, but I 100% see what you're saying. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where the woman's slapping the guy around, the guy can't retaliate, but if the guy retaliates, then it's a big issue.
Yes.
And I see both sides of it, but
I just think for story, it was a cheap storytelling gimmick. They could have did the same storyline without it, and I think she could have got heat. She's been getting heat anyway.
Yeah, she does fine getting heat. She doesn't
CM Punk's over enough that anything she would have done or said to him would have got heat.
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah,
but like, so they did something, you know. So she's got, you know, Becky Lynch gets in the ring. She, for whatever reason, she's appearing scared of AJ Lee. AJ Lee's not huge. I don't know why she's scared of her. She looks intimidated. Becky Lynch has wrestled the biggest wrestlers that out there. Why she's scared of her, I don't know, but that's the story. So Seth Rollins comes out. Seth Rollins gets in the ring and says, I just want her title back. So AJ Lee says, take it. She steps in front of the belt. And again, as Seth tries to go around her, again, I think what I would have liked to see with Becky, she just steps in his way. I'm not going to hit you, but I'm not getting out of your way. And I know you're not going to manhandle me. You know, and again, that had Becky Lynch done it with a little bit more sneer on her face or a little bit more mocking, I think that would have been a great heel move. So Seth ends up leaving the ring. Oh no, CM Punk ended up coming down, attacking Seth from behind, attempting to go to sleep. Seth wiggled out of it, fell out of the ring. He accepted the match at WrestlePalooza, and then AJ Lee threw the belt out of the ring back to Becky and Seth.
Which was fine for me. But do you remember, I don't know if you watched wrestling as much as I did back then, but when Charlotte Flair threw the belt down when she was getting ready to fight, maybe it was Becky Lynch, just threw it on the mat.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And that caused a huge stir. Maybe it might not have been Becky Lynch. I know it was Charlotte Flair, but I don't remember who she was fighting. But she just kind of threw it down, and it started this huge thing where she wasn't respecting the belt and she wasn't doing all these things. But when AJ Lee just threw it out of the ring and just threw it on the floor, it was fine.
Yeah, it depends if you're over or not.
Yeah, it just depends if you're a good guy or a bad guy, I guess. But I thought it was kind of weird. Yeah. But I think that match should be pretty entertaining, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a different video.
Yeah. We got our WrestlePalooza prediction videos coming up later this week. So check us out.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Yeah, you're right. We got another week. I was thinking it was this weekend. We've got another week beforehand.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the day after the summer. It's the day after SmackDown here in Detroit, which me and the kids are going to. So I'll post some shorts from SmackDown to Detroit.
You're going?
Yeah, it's your birthday weekend. I'm sorry. I wanted to buy you a birthday ticket.
I'll be gone. My birthday's the 20th. Everybody should send me gifts.
You know what he wants your subscriptions.
I want you to hit that subscribe button for
your
my
janitor.
Birthday.
Your janitor's friends, your janitor's family, the guy at work, anybody.
Well, most of the people's janitors is probably their wife's. Like,
no, at work, I said.
Oh,
leave notes on your desk at work, telling those that come and clean up at night to subscribe to WrestleStop. Anybody.
I'll be at Louder Than Life.
He will be wearing
Kentucky
a WrestleStop T-shirt. I hope.
I will have one of the days.
All right. Back to Raw. So
anyway, yeah.
Cut to another Bayley promo.
Who cares? Skip
at this point, like,
skip it.
Get her back in person. Like, why are we just recording these videos? But it went on the double talk back and forth, and now she just wants forgiveness from Lyra, wants to make it right. And I'm just confused because I don't remember her doing that much wrong against Lyra. Like, they had a fight, they had some matches, but I don't think she did anything all that dirty that she needs to apologize or make it right. But whatever.
I'm confused because I just don't care.
Yeah, like it's just a weird gimmick.
Don't care.
Yeah, so whatever. We'll pass that. And I, made me spend 30 seconds talking about Penta versus Rusev.
It was a good match.
You think so?
I do. I think the match was good. I don't like the ending.
Okay. Go ahead and talk about it then.
I think it's one of those things where you have the big guy versus like, it's hard to say like Penta's a small guy, right?
He does small guy moves.
He does small guy moves, but he's a big guy.
He's not Rusev beefy, but he's beefy.
And I think the match was entertaining. I'm not sure if I like the ending though, because you have Penta who they're trying to push. At one point they had him in I think didn't they have him in the Intercontinental title picture? Yeah. And all these things.
And he's wanting back in. He asked for an Intercontinental match.
And they're doing these things for Penta. And he's clearly over with the crowd, but they have Rusev win.
He hit the Mexican Destroyer clean on Rusev, and Rusev kicked out, which, again, another thing that caught me off guard. So, yeah, Xavier Woods and New Day end up coming down and distracting because they're trying to get the Mexican Destroyer banned because they think it's just another version of a pile driver.
Which
and if the pile driver's banned,
that makes me laugh.
I think, yes, it's a funny gimmick. So,
shit.
But yeah, so Rusev kicks, and Rusev ended up, Penta ended up going off the top rope or something. Rusev just gave him a big boot to the chest right out of the air. One of the most vicious looking kicks I've seen in a long time.
Well, everything Rusev does looks rough, right? Because
sometimes it does. Sometimes I think it's just because he is a little bit smaller.
Rusev?
No, Penta's a little bit smaller. Like Rusev doing a lot of those moves on Sheamus didn't seem to be as devastating as seeing it. Maybe Penta was just selling them better.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So knocked him out of the air, got him for a 3 count. So
I didn't like the ending. I thought the match was okay. If I had to grade it, I'd give it like a C+. But
I'd rather see Penta push than Rusev.
Yeah, I definitely would rather see Penta have won that match. But how can they? It's like one of those tricky things, right? So when you have the cruiserweight division and all like this, all the different divisions and stuff, how do you have a cruiserweight beat a heavyweight? It just doesn't look right in the world of professional wrestling, right? I'm not, obviously like UFC and stuff like that. Some of these guys can destroy heavyweights, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But in the world of professional wrestling, when you have a smaller guy beat a bigger guy who's supposed to be the heavyweight champion or one of those kind of things, just doesn't look right. So I don't know how they could have made that right, but I would rather have seen Penta win because Penta was the guy they were pushing. He's clearly more marketable.
Yes, much more with the crowd, and it's I don't get what they're doing.
They're trying to do something. Are they going to have 7 matches in a row with Penta now? With Rusev, which
best of 7.
I wouldn't doubt it if they did. And then Penta wins at like some pay-per-view in the future. Who knows? But
or maybe they'll end up in a 3-way, Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, who knows? But I didn't like the ending. I thought the match was entertaining though.
All right, next they did another recap, just recapping the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar stuff that's been going on with Brock Lesnar coming out at SummerSlam, Clash in Paris and interfering at the end of that match and all that. So just a recap there leading up to their coming match. Has that been announced for WrestlePalooza?
Yeah.
I thought so. So jump to another backstage, LA Knight and Jimmy talking. Jimmy asking if LA Knight intended to Jay get hurt. Why did you move? And, LA Knight defends himself. What am I supposed to do? Get a splash? I saw him coming out of the corner of my eye. Jim's trying to form an alliance, and LA Knight doesn't want anybody's help. He wants to be a loner.
Which is also stupid.
He's a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
It's also stupid, right? You have Jey Uso who thinks LA Knight moved on purpose so that he would get hit. And then you have LA Knight saying, well, I don't need anybody's help.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's kind of a dumb gimmick. It's kind of a dumb angle, I guess. Yeah. Maybe it's not a gimmick.
LA Knight doesn't want anybody's help, but he's mad at Jay for not helping him win at Clash of Paris. It just doesn't. I don't know what they're doing with all this. Who's turning heel? Jay, LA Knight, or neither?
I don't think either of them are. I think they're both going to skirt that line like Roman Reigns did. Where is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? 1 week he's doing good guy things. 1 week he's doing bad guy things. Definitely for Jey Uso, I think that's kind of the way he's going.
I'm watching Jay. Like I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I've noticed he's given up wearing the bright colors, the blue and the pink. He hasn't been doing the big entrances as much. He did it this week kind of to tease a reuniting with his brother, but he's been wearing more all black and grays, so he's been changing his look a little bit. So,
I mean, I think this is kind of the start of the Bloodline 3.0, because, and I still think Roman's going to be at the head of that. I think, he's going to be like, he's been talking to Jay. He's been getting him to do these things. So now he's going to
could lead
kind
to
of
a
fall
Roman
in line with Roman,
or lead to a Roman Jay feud. Roman comes back and wants to be the natural leader, but Roman's telling him not to take advice from anybody. And he put, Jay doesn't want to follow Roman anymore. So we'll see.
It could be that. And then you have, Jimmy, who, in my opinion, unfortunately, doesn't really have a direction right now.
Yeah,
He's just whatever Roman or Jay is involved in. They just kind of throw Jimmy in there.
Yep, or feuding with Solo. Anybody that's feuding with Solo, Jimmy's been getting involved just to kind of have something to do.
So, I mean, maybe a Bloodline 3.0, like the original Bloodline guys, like Roman, the Usos, maybe even Solo, and then throw in Jacob. I don't know who else is left, but against the Vision.
Sammy Uso?
No.
Your boy.
No, Sam Uso is not my boy. And then maybe that's the SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam. Survivor Series match, or War Games match. We have the reformed Bloodline versus the Vision.
I have some War Games thoughts, but we'll save that for a future video.
Okay.
Alrighty. Next up, we had Nikki Bella versus Asuka, which was set up earlier in the night when they got into that argument backstage. Decent match, back and forth. I thought Nikki Bella looked a little better in this match than she did at the Clash in Paris match. Eventually, she submitted to the Asuka lock. Not a whole lot really going on in that match.
Yeah, she looked better, but who cares?
Yeah.
She lost to Asuka. Again, who cares? What does that do for Nikki Bella? If they're trying to push Nikki Bella again, if they're trying to make her like a force in the division, why would they just have her lose clean?
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with that whole group.
So what are they going to do with Nikki Bella going forward?
Or Asuka and Kyrie.
Asuka and Kyrie.
Something with EO, obviously. But
EO, because they're keeping her separate for a reason, right? But the other two, it's like they just don't know what they want to do. So they're having, Asuka beat Nikki Bella, who should have happened, and I'm fine with that. But sorry, that was gross. It's on my arm. Anyway, I don't know. It just seems like Nikki Bella, who was in a championship match and all of these things, and now they're just having her just take a clean pinfall.
Yeah.
Cleanly on just TV shows. It's kind of weird to me, but I don't know. C-.
Alrighty, yeah. Give it a thumbs down.
Yeah.
So, Judgment Day was celebrating Raquel's victory backstage. Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough telling Dominic they don't trust El Grande Americano. Dom says, you guys should trust him. It's a lucha thing. Guys, let me handle it. And he storms off. Yeah, you guys just don't understand me. And Raquel says, let me go talk to him. So maybe she was going to make him some more chicken nuggies. I don't know. But
Raquel?
Roxanne. Roxanne.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Roxanne says, let me handle him. They really haven't played up the Roxanne Dom angle in a while. So I wonder if this means Alexa Bliss is getting...
Not Alexa Bliss.
Liv Morgan is getting ready to come back. And so
that's
they're going to start playing up that angle again.
I think Liv Morgan's probably getting ready for a return.
Yeah.
So they're trying to restart that angle, which I'm fine with. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah. So now then another backstage, Nikki confronts Asuka. Rhea came in and interfered.
Don't care.
Told Asuka to stay out of it. Asuka's like, now I got two problems, Nikki and Rhea. And then just again going back, why is Kyrie so afraid of Asuka all the time? Asuka's always yelling at her, but Nikki, Kyrie's been a champion. Like, stand up for yourself. I just don't get this. Like, I'm all of a sudden afraid of you. Like,
I think they're trying to make Asuka look crazy, and
they haven't shown her do anything that crazy yet, other than the yelling and interfering. But nothing where she
looks stupid.
Nothing where she's hurt anybody that Kyrie should be afraid of her.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But on
Right.
TV either. I think they're just trying to make people afraid. Like
Yeah.
Asuka's like crazy and she's insane.
All right, and then fine. Jump to the last match of the night: LA Knight versus Bronson Reed. Match back and forth. Near the end, Braun Breaker got distracted.
Shocker.
Braun Breaker distracted LA Knight. Bronson Reed hit the jagged edge for the clean 3 count. They start beating up LA Knight. Big Jim comes down to even the odds. Braun Breaker spears Jim out of nowhere. Then the Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker start attacking Jim. Then, of course, Jey Uso's music hits. He comes down to save the day, starts saving his brother. Breaker spears Jim out of nowhere, takes him out. LA Knight starts attacking Vision with a chair. They clear the ring just when you think the 3 of them are going to celebrate. Big Jay hits LA Knight with a spear out of the corner, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Where are they going with this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with it because they want Jey Uso to be like a big baby face and they want him to be a big heel.
Yeah.
Where are they going with it? I don't know. Unless they're going to make LA Knight change, like you said. Maybe he's sick of it and he changes. But I think LA Knight's still at the peak. He's still at the peak of his popularity right now.
They're both still really popular. The crowd pops every time they come out.
But I think the Usos can go heel.
Yeah, they've done
and
it before.
I think they'll still be okay, right?
Yeah.
I think if LA Knight went heel, I think he might lose some of his fan base if he went heel, where the Usos wouldn't.
Yeah, possibly.
So maybe Jey Uso's going heel. I just think he's going to go more don't care who I fight kind of thing, right?
Okay.
He'll fight LA Knight one week, and the next week he might fight who's a big heel. I can't even think of one right now. Bronson Reed, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. He just doesn't care. He's going to kind of float that middle line there where LA Knight is going to be more just fighting heels.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think. I don't know. Maybe it's going to set up a match in the future. What's the next pay-per-view after WrestlePalooza?
It's the one in early October. The one it's the one in Australia. Is it the Crown Jewel?
Perth?
Crown Jewel in Australia. Because we were talking about it.
It's Perth. Yeah.
October 1st at like 7 a.m.
Maybe they'll fight at that match or something like that.
I definitely see. We'll predict it in the future, but I definitely see LA Knight getting involved in the tag match at WrestlePalooza somehow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in the next in a different video. But
so that was our Raw recap. Like, follow, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts below. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you think one of them are turning heel? Do you think there's a chance? What do you let us know what you think? Keep an eye out for our card videos coming in the future. As Joe mentioned earlier, we're going to do some card pops. Share the video. Like, follow, subscribe. Share it with your friends.
So apparently our video cut out, but just to end.
You know who did it?
Who did it?
It was that damn Sasquatch. That's who.
Sam Squatches. They're everywhere out here, just so you guys know. If you guys want to catch a Sam Squatch, they're out here. And they're all over the place. But yeah, so our video cut out, but we were at the very end, so we'll just kind of end the video real fast. That was the recap of Raw, right?
Raw from September 8th.
Raw from September 8th. And then we'll go on to, hopefully we'll see you guys in our next video. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, type in some comments just like this.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your mailman.
You know what?
Friends, mailman. Tell your mailman's friends.
We keep missing it, Jeff, but we might as well just say it. Tell your moms.
Tell your moms.
Because look at this guy.
Tell your mom's friends.
Look at this guy.
Tell your friends' moms.
Chiseled face, physique. He could be your guys' new dad. Who knows? Until then, we'll see you guys in the next video.